What's up, everyone? I'm currently sitting on the ground next to my Blu-ray collection so that I can do a little video on it. I've built up a pretty decent selection of titles here over the past year. It's not the greatest collection in the world, but it's got a pretty decent size to it. So I guess there isn't really anything else to say other than let's get started. Okay, so of course we'll get started with the top. Firstly, I've got the Death Parade limited edition boxed set right here. If you're wondering why there's a Pokemon DVD right there, it's because when you look at it from this angle, whichever one's on the left or right side, unless it's a gigantic box like Tokyo Ghoul, you can't really see what it is, so I kind of just picked up some crappy DVD and put it there. Not that I have any problems with Pokemon, it's just that this specific set doesn't really have anything special about it. So yeah, that's why that's there. You can't see it unless you're right next to it like this. Anyway, first off, we've got the Death Parade box set. Death Parade is an incredible series, a masterpiece. And the box set, I was actually looking at it for a while, but it was a whopping $90. So eventually it did go on sale on Black Friday, and I decided to pick it up. I'm not going to open these or anything. I guess I'll just give my opinions on the series, a quick summary of my opinions on the series, look around the box and then put it back in. But yeah, that's the Death Parade box set I've got. Next up, we've got Goblin Slayer, one of my personal favorite series, even though I know it's no masterpiece or anything. I love it to death either way. This one I did pick up right when it came out, and it was actually the first box set or Blu-ray that I ever got. Yeah, if you're into that kind of dark fantasy sort of thing, or even it's kind of humorous too, humorous kind of show, unintentionally. Yeah, give Goblin Slayer a shot. I definitely think it's worth it. Next up after that, we've of course got the classic series right here, Death Note. Kind of wish I got the box set of this, or the larger Blu-ray set, but this was actually insanely cheap for an anime Blu-ray, only $20, and Death Note being the legendary series that it is, I had to pick it up. Happy to have that. After that, we have the complete series of Classroom of the Elite, one of the most underrated anime of all time. You know, there's so many different classroom, I don't really know what you'd call that genre other than classroom anime. There's so many of them out there, and none of them really caught my attention at all other than Classroom of the Elite. And to be honest, I think that Classroom of the Elite completely blows some of the, or at least the ones I've seen, all the other Classroom series out of the water. Severely underrated, and it will probably never get a season 2 because for some reason the Japanese audience absolutely hated the anime adaptation. So that sucks really bad. After that, we've got One Punch Man, another classic here. One of my personal favorite series of all time. Incredibly animated, absolutely hilarious, has such a unique and interesting world, characters, villains, storyline, everything. It's got that humor, but then it's not afraid to go into dramatic and emotional scenes either. Damn it, I keep pointing my camera to the ground when I put it back because I'm looking at my hand and not the camera. Anyway, after that we have the author of One Punch Man's other series, Mob Psycho 100. I also picked this up on Black Friday. I don't remember exactly the deal that I saw, but it was good enough to give this series a pickup. Mob Psycho 100 I don't think is quite as good as One Punch Man, even though other people do think it's better than One Punch Man. But, I mean, obviously it's in my collection. It's a fantastic, absolutely unbelievable series. I wouldn't go as far to say it's a masterpiece like One Punch Man is, at least season 1 in the manga, but it's fantastic in its own right. After that, we have probably my favorite addition to the collection, the Fate Stay Night Heaven's Feel films. I have the first 2 box sets, and I'll of course get the third one when the third film's released on Blu-ray. But yeah, it's insanely high quality, which is the kind of thing you'd expect from any Fate release. Fate all around the board, all across the board, is extremely high quality, and this is just the kind of thing you come to expect with it. I've wanted a Fate box set for a while now, but most of them are a couple $100. But since these are just films, they were $70 each, and I got them for my birthday, so I didn't actually have to drop anything or drop any cash on it on my own. Here's the second film right here. It's got a red, what do you call it? I don't really know what you call it, like transparent? I don't know. Can't think of the word right now. But yeah, I've got some absolutely gorgeous artwork on the side. And, got some really good stuff inside as well, but I'm not going to open that up in this video. Yeah, that's my favorite part of the collection. I'm not going to take this next one out, the Tokyo Ghoul Collector's Edition, because, the right side's kind of in here, so... Oh shit, I almost dropped that. But, yeah, so I'm not going to move all this to pull it out. You get the picture. It's a massive collector's edition. I actually don't really like Tokyo Ghoul that much. I think it's a little overrated. I didn't think there was anything that great about it. It's not bad, but I don't think it's really that good either. A lot of people say the manga's incredible though. And I never watched any of the later seasons because apparently they're absolutely terrible. And considering I didn't like what was supposed to be the good season, I don't think I'd like the bad seasons. I picked this Blu-ray up though because normally it's $140 to $150, and it was on sale for I think $40. So yeah, having something like that for only $40, it's a steal. After that, I picked up the High School of the Dead Collector's Edition. Now this has some really nice stuff in it. If you watch the anime room tour video I put up, I hung up a lot of the art cards I got in this. This is kind of stuck in here too, so I'm not gonna pull it out. But yeah, it's High School of the Dead is a really kind of a terrible situation. I really, really enjoyed the series. I thought it was great. I don't know if I'd call it fantastic, but it was really great. However, as a lot of you probably know, the author of the manga passed away. So, firstly, the manga will never get any continuation. And the anime will definitely never get a continuation because of it. Really unfortunate, because I enjoyed the series a lot, and of course, unfortunate that the author passed away. But what can you do? Next up, I have the complete series of Parasite, both boxed sets, the first half of the series and the second half. These were actually on sale for, I think, these are normally $90 each, and they were on sale for, I think, $20 each. Maybe even less, like $10. Parasite is, in my opinion, one of the top 10 greatest anime of all time, or at least that I've seen. and I've seen a good chunk of series. So yeah, I was absolutely interested in picking up the series, but two $90 box sets, that's a lot to drop. But it regularly goes on sale. So yeah, I just waited till Black Friday and got them both for less than half the price of what one of them normally would have been. Awesome deal that I got with that. And yeah, got a masterpiece in the collection because of it. After that, we got the Steins Gate movie. Steins Gate, I think, is one of the top 5 greatest series ever made. I can't even, like, without thinking about it for, like, a long while, I can't even describe in words, how absolutely masterful this series is. And after it, I wanted to pick up some Steins Gate merchandise. I'm trying to think of what I got, because I got this film with the merchandise that I picked up. I don't know why I can't think of what it is. Or maybe I got something else unrelated to Steins Gate, and I just picked up the Steins Gate film with it. Sorry about that, guys. I got a phone call in the middle of recording. Anyway, though, next we were at Gate. Gate, I don't know. It's a fantastic series. I love Gate. It's such an underrated gem. So it's such like a unique way to do the isekai genre, and they executed it perfectly. It's got memorable characters, great set pieces and storylines, memorable moments. But I wouldn't, it's not a masterpiece. I wouldn't call it a masterpiece, but it doesn't need to be. It's an absolutely fantastic series that I would 100% recommend to anybody. It's great. I love it. I love it to death, and mostly people who watch this series like it, but I don't think I think they underrate it a little bit. It's a lot better than people say it is, at least in my opinion. So when I saw this Blu-ray on sale for a really cheap price, I instantly picked it up, because Gate is like one of my, it's a series that I, think of a lot, just because I think it's more underrated than other series are. After that, we have Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress. I hope I pronounced Kabaneri right. Kabaneri? I don't know. But this is done by Wit Studio, of course, the studio behind Attack on Titan. What I think is the greatest series of all time, as you can see. But it's their own original IP. It's not based on any manga. It's not based on any light novel. Wit Studio just made it themselves, and a lot of people like to write it off as a Attack on Titan ripoff, just because it's people who live behind a wall and there's monsters on the outside and the monsters break through. But really, that's where the similarities end between Attack on Titan and Kabaneri. It's a fantastic series in its own right. It's not on the level of Attack on Titan. It's not on the level of Steins Gate, I wouldn't call it a masterpiece, but it's close. It's pretty fantastic. It's incredible, and I would highly recommend you to give it a shot. I would say, if I had to compare it to another series, I'd put it on the level of like Mob Psycho 100. Another absolutely fantastic series. So it's not really similar to Mob Psycho at all. I'm just saying, like, enjoyment wise, I would say it's about as good as Mob Psycho, to me anyway. So yeah, it's also got a film on Netflix. It only has the film on Netflix though, and it's split into 3 episodes, so don't watch that first. A lot of people I keep pointing the camera to the ground when I put it back in here. But yeah, a lot of people watched the movie on Netflix and were so confused because they thought it was the show. But yeah, don't do that. Next up, like I just said a couple seconds ago, we have what I believe to be the absolute greatest series ever created, Attack on Titan. I have the complete series so far, Season 1, Season 2, and Season 3. Season 1, I don't have the boxed set because it came out too many years ago before I watched anime for me to have picked it up. So I just got the standard Blu-ray, which is still sold everywhere. Then I, of course, got the second season, my personal favorite season so far. And then I got Season 3, which the second half of season... I love all of Season 3, don't get me wrong, but I think the second half of Season 3, so the most recent, episodes of the series are the best so far. It's above a masterpiece. Like, Attack on Titan is in its own league. I've never seen something so absolutely mind-blowingly incredible in my life. If I could tell you anything about anime, or if you ever take any word of advice from me related to anime, it would be to watch Attack on Titan if you haven't. A lot of more popular series get like a bad rap from people, or some people are turned off from series just because they're popular, which is kind of stupid, but in a way I do understand it. But Attack on Titan, don't write it off. It is such a masterpiece. It is incredible. Nothing like it in the world. It is it's near perfection. After that, we got the last of my Blu-rays down here. Am I going to take Guilty Crown out? No, I'm not. I got the box set of Guilty Crown. I actually still have not watched it yet. It was insanely cheap. I don't remember how much, but I think on Black Friday it was around $10. And I've watched the opening theme song of Guilty Crown probably 100,000 times. So I thought I'd pick up the Blu-ray. I haven't gotten into it yet, but one of these days when I lose internet or something, maybe I'll give it a try. Okay, after that we have Chivalry of a Failed Knight. Okay, so this series, every single time I would complete an anime on Hulu, it would recommend this series, and I had never heard of it, and I wasn't gonna watch it, but it was recommended to me such an unbelievable amount of times that it kind of became like I don't even know, I knew it was gonna come up every time I got to the last episode of a show. So one day I was just like, okay, fine, I'll watch it. In this series, it shocked me. It did shock me. It's not Mob Psycho level. It's not Cabaneri of the Iron Fortress level. I struggle to call it, amazing or fantastic, but it is definitely above most anime series. The animation specifically shocked me. It has some of the best animation I've ever seen, and I did not expect that at all from this series. Usually series like this, especially series I've never really heard of, don't have that level of quality in their animation. And the studio that does this anime actually does quite a few others, and their animation is usually pretty top quality, surprisingly, because they're not really a well-known studio. But I think it's Studio Silverlink. I mean, they're kind of well-known, but not to the level of Wit Studio or Ufotable, stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely recommend to give Chivalry of a Failed Knight a watch. It's got a really good story, incredible animation, masterful animation, and yeah, it's got its fan base. It's really good. And hopefully we'll get a season 2 one of these days. After that, I have the boxed set of Seraph of the End. I also have the second half, which is supposed to go in here, but I thought it kind of looked nicer when I just put it in there. Seraph of the End is a vampire series, and it's done by Wit Studio. The studio behind Cabinari. I don't know if it's Cabinari or Cabinari, so I'm just gonna call it Cabinari. So yeah, done by Wit Studio, who did Cabinari of the Iron Fortress, Attack on Titan, of course, and now Seraph of the End, because this is another absolutely phenomenal series. I would almost call it a masterpiece, but not quite. However, I would say it's even better than Mob Psycho and Cabinari. 1,000,000% recommend to give it a watch. It's another hit from Wit Studio. I think every show that Wit Studio has ever made is absolutely incredible. I mean, Cabinari, Attack on Titan, Seraph of the End, Vinland Saga, which I think is the second greatest series of all time, right behind Attack on Titan. Yeah, Wit Studios. Even their new series, Great Pretender, which you can watch on Netflix, is absolutely incredible. Next up, we have Haven't You Heard I'm Sakamoto. This series is, just the concept alone was enough to convince me to give it a watch. It's about this guy named Sakamoto, and the premise is basically that he's so unbelievably cool with everything that he does. Even when he gets bullied in class or something like that, he makes it look stylish, and it's a really fantastic concept, and it lived up to the hype. They executed it perfectly, and it's actually done by Studio Dean, who I think is one of the worst animation studios out there, but they did a great job with Sakamoto. I really wanted to get the boxed set of this, but because it goes on sale a lot and it has Sakamoto socks in it, but I don't know, I haven't given it a pickup yet because I already have the regular edition. After that, we have Made in Abyss. A lot of people say this series is a masterpiece. I wouldn't quite agree with that. It's definitely really good. It's a really good series. But nowhere near, in my opinion. This is going to be in the minority, by the way, so don't let what I say about it turn you off from this series, but at least in my opinion, it's not a masterpiece. I actually hadn't seen it before picking up the Blu-ray. I watched it on the Blu-ray, not to completion, so maybe there's something that happens that I don't know about, but yeah, I watched, I'd say, the first 7 or so episodes, and it was really good. It was really good, but I'd struggle to call it a masterpiece or anything like that. Next up, we only have 2 more Blu-ray in the collection. First of which is No Game, No Life, the complete collection. No Game, No Life, it's notorious for being that one series everybody loved that never got a second season, which really is unfortunate. I don't know there's got to be something that's stopping them from making a second season, because how insanely and incredibly popular this show is. It would sell like wildfire, make millions of dollars. So I really don't know what the deal with not making a second season of No Game, No Life is, but there's got to be something going wrong. But I do think it's really good. Again, it's no masterpiece, it's no Mob Psycho, no Cabinari, but not even I wouldn't even say it's at the level of Gate, but is by no means bad. It's by no means an average show. I'd say it's above good. It's pretty great, actually. Definitely recommend to give No Game, No Life a watch. I loved it. It was awesome. Then finally we have Noragami. Next up we have Noragami Arigato. The second season of Noragami. Yes, I do have the second season and not the first season. Just because this went on sale for insanely cheap. And I did watch Noragami and I thought it was pretty good. I don't think it's even as good as No Game, No Life. But it is pretty good. It's definitely a pretty good series. I liked it a lot. I'd love to see a season 3. It's been a while since the second season aired, so who knows when we'll get a season 3, if ever. But yeah, I picked up the box set of season 2 because it was on sale, and I did enjoy the series when I watched it. That'll wrap it up for the anime Blu-ray collection video. Yeah, I have a pretty... Like I said, it's not the biggest collection in the world, but it's a good size. I got a lot of series that I love in here. And, you know, there's some other series that I'd like to pick up. Pretty soon I'm going to need some more room to put it, but I've got plenty of room in other places. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed the video, and feel free to give me a subscribe if you're interested in more content like this. And yeah, peace.